Baptism, we have indeed laid in his grave with him. Oh boy. That's Rotherham. Oh, we therefore were entombed with him. Entombed. This is Weast.
Wow.
Jerusalem Bible. In other words, let me put it like this. In other words, when we were baptized, we went into the tomb with him and joined him in death. Hey! That's a lot more than just little sprinkling with water. If any of you have been sprinkled as babies, I highly recommend you being baptized in water again. Has everyone been baptized in water? Full immersion? Dunk down under? And come up again. Now, I want you to get a fix on the two things that we are asked to participate in as believers. Two rituals, if you want to say, that as Christians it's part of our belief system, and it's in the Word. We see it in the New Covenant. It's water baptism, which means partaking of his death. And the second thing we do as a symbol is we take the communion, which has to do with his death. As often as you do it. As often as you do it. Remember, you partake with Christ, his death. These are the two vivid things. Now, the communion we can take on a daily basis, if you like. Hourly. As often as you remember. I mean, I have communion with him in the Spirit all day long. I'm in communion. I'm eating his body. I'm drinking his blood. Constantly. It is the nourishment of my new creation. I don't wait until I come to church and have the little and the cracker. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, we're totally doing that.
So that's what it means to have fellowship with him and communion. You're meditating on what he's done in his death. You're meditating on the accomplishments, on your death to sin and life to Christ. That's what you're partaking of. You can really call yourself a new wino. New wino. You're participating. And the first entrance in as a new believer is take the wafer. The man just took the wafer. The water can turn to wine. Water turns to wine. Baptism doesn't take place you don't have to repeat that event. It doesn't have to be repeated. You can repeat it if you feel like now you have a revelation of what it means to connect with his death.
Yeah.
You can repeat it. I'm not saying you should, but I rebaptized myself in my bathtub.
What?
Because I rebaptized myself in my bathtub because I realized first time around, which was 20 years ago or more, it was 30 years ago, I didn't have a clue what it meant. And now that I had revelation by the Spirit and in the Word, I said, I want to do it again just between you and me. I just want to know, and I want to know that, it's more than just a symbol.
Yeah.
Wow. So, you can do that, but you don't have to. It's not like you can't, it's not like getting saved over and over and over every day. Come to the altar call, repent, and get saved again and again and again. Something's wrong there.
Yeah.
You're saved. You're made new. What's wrong is you haven't heard about the cross. You haven't heard about you are connected with him in his death. He made himself one with you. right there in that evil place,
Wow.
in that corrupt place. That you can believe. You don't need great faith to believe that, do you? No, you don't. You're kind of like, what? That's what he gave himself for. You don't need this superhuman, abundant faith to believe God united himself with you in your corruption.
Wow.
You just haven't heard it. You haven't heard it. If you haven't heard it, it's very difficult to believe something you haven't heard. United with him in his death. Okay.
That's good.
I descended into the grave of spiritual death.
Hey.
We have therefore been entombed with him by immersion into his death. Ta-da-ba-da!
Oh boy.
Our baptism in death made us share his burial. If you share his death, you share his burial.
Hey.
Sharesies.
What?
You share his death, you share his burial. You're sharing it with him. He wasn't there alone. He wasn't there alone. You're not there alone. You're not now trying to walk through your own death, your own crucifixion. Religion will tell you yes, but that's not the way of faith. That's not has nothing to do with this.
Hey.
So, you know, I know it says I die daily. The apostle says I die daily, and we addressed that in one of our first classes. He said, I risk my life daily for the sake of the gospel. I place my life in deadly situations daily. Oh, not daily, hourly. I have death threats on me all the time. That's what the apostle was saying. People were chasing him down. They were hunting him. They were looking for him. They stoned him. You know, that's what he meant. He was not talking about dying to self, not going, oh man, I wish I was on the Mediterranean on a yacht right now, but I'm going to choose to serve Jesus. I wish I didn't have to go through this, but I would rather be here.
Oh.
I would rather be on a yacht in the Mediterranean somewhere, just enjoying life, than be here serving God. You think that was the Apostle Paul's attitude in life? I meant to, you better go and become a Buddhist or something.
Oh my God.
You know, if that's what you think. The Apostle Paul was his sheer pleasure and passion
Oh wow.
to declare this truth. He breathed nothing else. It was his sheer pleasure. He was not wrestling and struggling with sin.
Wow.
He was fighting the wild beasts of Ephesus, which were religious Jews, religious, jealous Jews. Jews who couldn't enter into the messianic gift. They refused. They refused. Wow. We have been placed with him among the dead. Oh! That was basic English. God's new covenant says, you know, you were, let's see, what is it? Kind of squished in there. Buried with him in order that, as Christ was raised from the dead by the Father's glorious power, we too might live and move in a new kind of existence.
Hey.
A new kind of existence. A creation, a new creation that wasn't there before. It wasn't there before. You are an alien. It says you're no longer human. You're no longer human. You have the divine splendor. No longer human. Oh, I like this.